Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and like I promised in the last video that I made, or not the last video technically, I don't know if it's going to be the previous video from this, but the one where I talked about, where I read off my favorite baby names, and I said I was going to talk about the characters next. So now we're going to do characters, and I'm going to talk about how I come up with them. I just have a little sticky note here to remind me of my topics, otherwise I'm going to get a whole off topic. So how I come up with my characters, my process of creating them, and even like who I take inspiration from. And if I have time, I might cover my favorite characters from TV shows. But we'll see, because I don't want to make this video too long. So how I come up with my characters is sometimes it depends on like the story sometimes. So like sometimes sometimes the character creates the story, or sometimes I come up with the story and then I have the characters for it. But usually it's the main character first at least, and then the story comes around that character, which I guess is usually how stories are created. But so how do I actually create them? I don't usually. I don't know. I get like a story idea and then I create the character, I guess. So like okay, I'll start with Unlocking Secrets. My book Unlocking Secrets. So that whole story, I pulled from different things. Most of the book itself is my imagination, but the premise idea came from a show. The show Stargate SG-1, and I kind of got the idea from the episode Solidarity, where they find Cassandra on the planet and she's like the sole survivor. But I did a twist where instead of them finding the kid, instead of the people, because obviously Unlocking Secrets also takes place in an Air Force base. Well, they get out of the Air Force base too, but it starts in an Air Force base where Tegra ends up inside there. So instead of having them find the kid finds them in a way, but she wasn't trying to find them, is the thing. So that's kind of where I got that from. And the relationship between Tegra and Alexandra was a little bit inspired by that same episode, or there's just the show, because we saw Cassandra in other episodes, in 2 or 3 other episodes, was inspired by the relationship but it was mostly from that first episode though, was the relationship between Cassandra and Sam. So kind of like how Cassandra, was like really drawn to Sam. I kind of took that and inputted it and had Tegra be like drawn that way to Alexandra, but for a different reason. I think on the show, Cassie was just drawn to Sam because Sam was like the first woman that she saw. Kids are usually more drawn to women than men, because women are a bit safer, I guess, in a way. I mean, little, because they view women as like mother figures. So and also, I mean, Teal'c was really the one that got Cassandra to go with them, but like she really just like gravitated towards Sam, and she didn't want Sam to leave her and stuff. And I kind of did the same thing with Tegra, where she was drawn to Alexandra, but for a different reason, because like Alexandra looks like her aunt, who supposedly was killed at age 4. It's like, wait, hold the phone. Why do you look like a man? Like, you look like Daddy's sister. Which, actually, because Tegra did tell Alexandra in my book. It's like, you look like Daddy's sister. And Alexandra was actually a little bit inspired by Sam. Not entirely, because it's entirely different. Because it's kind of different. But some of the characters in my book were inspired by... Obviously, I changed names, and they're not exactly the same, because copyright and stuff, so, yeah. But inspired by, not copied. And then Tegra is actually my own character, who I made up. She was not inspired by Cassandra. She was a character I had a while ago, and originally her name was Kayla, and then I changed it to be more sci-fi-y or fantasy. But, yeah. So that's kind of how I got Tegra. Tegra already had like a full-on character sheet. from like years ago. And then Noam was completely new. He didn't in Tegra's original character sheet when she was Kayla before. She did not have a little brother, so Noam was completely brand new. And so I kind of pull from different shows, and obviously the whole magic aspect of it, that inspiration came from Charmed. But yeah, but the thing is, I wanted, in my book, I had some demons be good, and some are bad. I mean, there are bad ones, but there's also good ones, because I didn't want to, like, have it necessarily be like, hey, like, I wanted to give off the message, like, hey, being bad, being evil is a choice that you make. You could be good. I mean, just because your powers are inherently evil does not mean you have to be evil. You can choose to be good. And that was the message I was trying to portray by having the good demons and the bad demons. So yeah. So there's that, and then so I covered pretty much everything I wanted to cover. I don't know how long this video is, so I'm probably gonna cut this and then do another part. But yeah. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I apologize in advance if it's really long, or if I was talking too fast. This is just how I talk. I'm just being natural. I just have to say that. So yeah. So I'm gonna sign off now. Bye, and love you all.